Now, as the humanitarian situation continues to worsen in Afghanistan, Taliban rulers are now trying their luck to persuade global leaders to unfreeze their funds. Latest to the list is the recent call by Taliban's acting foreign minister Amir Khan Muttaqi. Highlighting the growing crisis, Muttaqi has now called on the US to immediately release Afghanistan's central bank assets. During a recent interview, Muttaqi said US is no longer at war with Afghanistan and thus freezing of the assets doesn't hold any logical justification. Earlier, Muttaqi had sent a letter to the US Congress urging the lawmakers to free the Afghan assets, citing the intense economic and humanitarian crisis in Afghanistan. US, however, rejected the request, saying that the new regime needs to earn legitimacy first. United Nations, meanwhile, has pushed for an urgent action to prop up Afghanistan's banks, warning that a spike in loan defaulters and crunch in cash liquidity will lead to the collapse of the financial system within months. United Nations Development Programme, in a 3-page report, has stated that the economic cost of the banking system collapse in Afghanistan will be colossal. The report has also chalked out few solutions to bring back sustainable measures to revive from the crisis. Proposals include deposit insurance scheme, credit guarantees and loan repayment delay options. Afghanistan's economy has gone into a free fall following the Taliban takeover of Kabul. With many countries freezing assets and halting funds, the situation in Afghanistan is bleak. Washington seized nearly $9.5 billion in assets which belong to the Afghan Central Bank. West has clarified that Afghanistan was already in a dire economic and humanitarian situation before the Taliban takeover. This was because of years of war and the COVID-19 pandemic. Washington says it is making efforts to help the UN and humanitarian workers deployed in Afghanistan. In the latest effort to impose further curbs on women in Afghanistan, the Taliban has now imposed a new rule. The hardline Islamist group has banned female actors from appearing in television dramas. The Taliban has ordered Afghan television channels to stop showing dramas featuring women actors and said female television journalists must wear hijab on screen. The new 8-point religious guidelines issued on November 21st are the latest restrictions imposed by the Taliban regime. Under the latest guidelines, channels have been ordered to not broadcast movies or entertainment programs that insult or even humiliate the principles of the Sharia laws. Weeks since August 15th, when Kabul fell to the Taliban, have been a steady stream of bad news, particularly for women and girls in Afghanistan. When asked about women's rights under their rule during their first press conference following the takeover, Taliban rulers said that they are committed to the rights of women within the framework of Sharia laws and that women and men will share the same rights. They also agreed to allow women work in different sectors, including education, health and other areas. However, it looks like all these words were promises, and the scenario is far from what was guaranteed.
We are bound by the rights of women that have been given by Sharia. Our sisters and mothers will be given all the rights that God has given them. Women are part of society. Women will work in various fields of the country while living under Sharia. Women will work in education, health and other fields and will play an active role.
Since their return to power, the hardline Islamist group has already introduced rules for what women can wear at universities. They have banned most girls from attending secondary schools and imposed restrictions on women working in the civil service. Now, the Taliban has also been under mounting criticism from global leaders for not including any female member in their cabinet. The regime has repeatedly claimed that all these recent restrictions are temporary and are only in place to ensure all workplaces are safe for women. WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.